Do you have a collection of films and videotape sitting in your attic, basement, hall closet, or a box somewhere that are being lost to time? Creative artists can transfer your 8mm, Super 8mm, and 16mm films, as well as converting your VHS, CVHS, 8mm, and mini DV to DVD. Preserve your family's video history for the generations to come. Creative Artists, 1113 West Spring Street, Monroe, 770-267-7368.
Good morning or good afternoon, depends on what time you're seeing this, but I'm Keith Glass, Chief of Police, City of Monroe, and I have with me Sandy Bailey with Foundation for Living. She's going to be bringing a great program to Monroe, Georgia, and together we're going to work together to get this information out. And now Miss Bailey's going to tell you something about it.
Thank you, Chief. We're going to talk about straight talk, no chaser, sexting, teen dating, parents being a parent, not a friend. I'm bringing this information because I see there's a need. I've been to Jackson County and I've been to Barrow County, and now it's time for Monroe City. So meet me at Monroe High School, November the 6th. Doors will open up at 6 o'clock. Again, that's Monroe High School, November the 6th. Doors will open at 6 o'clock. You will be blessed and informed. Have a great day, and me and the Chief will see you soon.
We'll see you there.
Good afternoon. Thank you for watching. I'm Dina Huff, the Executive Director for the Partnership for Families, Children, and Youth. And we're kind of in a different location today because I invited Amy Honeywell, our Youth Development Coordinator, to join me today because we have a very exciting event coming up. And I'm going to let Amy take it over to tell you about the event.
Hi, I'm so glad I get to talk to you about the House of Addictions. It's sponsored by the Walton County Youth Advocacy Board, and it's right here in beautiful downtown Monroe. We're going to be here at 603 Broad Street. We're at the Old Fish Thrift Store location right across from the Walton Mill Antique Mall. We'd love to invite you to come out on October 17th, 18th, 24th, 25th, and 26th from 7 to 10 nightly, except the last Sunday will be open until 9 o'clock. This House of Addictions, sponsored by the Youth Advocacy Board, tells the very real and very scary dangers associated with drug and alcohol addiction. If you'd like to learn more about our haunted house, you can visit www.waltonyouthcan.org to find out more information. Admission is $3, and it's $3 for everyone, both parents, children, teens, anyone. We invite you to come out, bring your families, and come support the Walton County Youth and learn more about drugs and alcohol here at the House of Addiction.
And as always, if you have questions for us at the partnership, you can give us a call at 770-207-6060. And we hope to see you October 17th. Thank you.
Quiet the lies. Addiction is real.
Hello and welcome to this edition of The Health Story. My name is Dee Dee Harris. I'm the Executive Director of Walton Wellness, Inc., a nonprofit located here in Walton County dedicated to the prevention of lifestyle-related chronic illness. Each time I come to you, I like to bring you some type of resource, hopefully that will help your health journey or someone you love, or let you know about some kind of event or something that's going on in our local community. Today, I'm going to talk to you about something that has become very near and dear to my heart. As many of you who may know me personally know that our family has experienced quite a change over the past summer. My son, who is 8, he's a 3rd grader at Harmony Elementary School, Trevor, he was diagnosed with a very rare blood disorder called Fanconi anemia, or FA for short. Fanconi anemia is extremely rare. Only around 30 to 31 cases show up every year in children in the United States. It is a disease that is all over the world, however. But in the United States, we have just a very small population, fortunately, that show up. This is a disease that is genetic in nature, so he was actually born with the disease and we did not know it until he started displaying some symptoms that really alarmed us, and we had some blood work done. From that blood work, we saw that all of his blood levels, his platelets, his white cell count, and his red cell count were all very low. And so that was what led to the actual testing to find out what was going on with him, and it showed up that he had Fanconi anemia. So one of the things that we have been trying to do since we have found out is how can we help other people? This disease is quite rare, so most people will never have heard of it. I had never heard of it. My husband had never heard of it. And so most people have never heard of it and will more than likely never know anyone in their lifetime who is affected by this disease. So we wanted to figure out how can we educate people a little bit more, not only about Fanconi anemia, but there are lots of different blood disorders out there that that affect children especially, that a lot of people are not aware of. And so one of the things with my son's blood disorder, how it affects him the most is it causes bone marrow failure. Now, a lot of people are a little bit confused about what is bone marrow. You hear the term, but maybe you don't know exactly what it does for your body. Well, your bone marrow is essentially your lifeblood. It is very essential to your being able to live. That's where your red blood cells are made. That's where your immune system comes from, and it's where your platelets come from as well. Now, just to have a little physiology lesson, because some of you may say, what exactly is a platelet and all of these things that I'm throwing out. Platelets are what cause you to be able to clot. It causes your blood to be able to clot. So if you cut yourself, you bleed a little bit, and then it hopefully stops pretty quickly and you form a scab. That is your platelets at work. That is what helps you to be able to clot your blood and for your body to be able to consolidate that wound to just that area. So platelets are pretty important, especially when we're talking about injury. Platelets also have to do with not just blood clotting with cutting yourself, but also bruising. And that is what shows up, you've probably heard, with leukemia, which is a blood disease as well. You hear about a lot of bruising happening with leukemia, and that is because the platelets get so low that it causes bruising, sometimes what we call spontaneous bruising. If your platelets are low enough, then you will actually just form bruises on your body and you don't even have to injure yourself to actually get the bruise. So the platelets are very important. Obviously, we know what your immune system does. I have confidence that you know that. It fights off infection. It helps you get well when you get an infection. So tremendously important, especially in today's world when we're so mobile and everybody's kind of interacting with everyone else. And then your red blood cells are very important because that's your blood, but also it contributes to the oxygen in your blood, or what we call hemoglobin. Often if you go to the doctor and they prick your finger and they give you a hemoglobin number. Well, basically what your hemoglobin is it's telling you how much oxygen is in your blood. And so that oxygen in your blood is what's responsible for giving oxygen to all your major organs and throughout your body. So we breathe in the oxygen, but that doesn't necessarily go down to our toes. It's our blood that takes that oxygen down to our toes and to our fingertips and to all over our body. So hemoglobin obviously is very important as well. When you have a low hemoglobin, you can feel very fatigued, very tired. You just don't have a lot of energy and you can be short of breath. So it can cause you to, in general, just feel really bad and not be able to be as active. So all of these things together is what your bone marrow is responsible for in your body. So with my son's disease, he actually is going to eventually need a bone marrow transplant. And that is what actually a lot of different blood diseases end up needing for a cure. Leukemia being one of those. Leukemia is a unfortunately, very prevalent disease, and I'm sure most of you have heard of it, or you've even known someone who has had leukemia. Leukemia patients often end up with the need as well for a bone marrow transplant. Same with lymphoma, sickle cell anemia, hemophilia. Lots of these diseases often end up with needing a bone marrow transplant. So that's what I want to talk to you about a little bit more, is the bone marrow transplant and what exactly that is. Well, amazingly, with our science and our modern medical technology, they are actually able to transplant someone's bone marrow into someone else who needs it, and they are able to grow a new immune system. And it's pretty amazing once you find out about all the details and stuff. One of the first questions I always get is, does it matter about blood type? And a lot of people think you have to be the same blood type. Actually, you don't. Blood type does not matter at all in a bone marrow transplant, which is great. So that means we can all share our bone marrow. Well, not exactly. What they do have to do is they have to do what they call HLA testing. And HLA testing is human leukocyte antigen. And what they are looking for is a specific chromosome in the body, which is chromosome 6. There are 8 proteins within that chromosome that have to match up in order for someone to be a perfect match and for them to be able to transplant bone marrow. So unfortunately, we all can't just share our bone marrow. We do have to have matching. Which brings me to what I wanted to talk to you about, which is we are having a bone marrow donor drive. Basically, this is where we are asking you to please consider donating your bone marrow. And that sounds very scary, especially after everything I just told you your bone marrow was responsible for. But I wanted to ensure you of how you actually get tested. Well, that HLA testing. There is something called the National Bone Marrow Registry. Now, a lot of patients, when you have to have a bone marrow transplant, they are fortunate enough to have someone in their family, usually a sibling is the best chance, that actually match. And they are able to use their siblings' bone marrow to do the transplant, which is wonderful. And that is the optimal situation that you want. But often, and especially like in my case with my son, his sister was not a match for him. So we are having to go to the National Bone Marrow Registry and actually search for a match for my son. Now, we're in a fortunate situation that my son is not in an emergency situation at this point. He doesn't have to have the transplant right away. So we have some time to be able to search for a donor and hopefully find that right person. So when the time comes, everything is lined up for us. However, unfortunately, most people, or a lot of people, are not in the same situation that we are in. They are kind of up against the clock and they need a transplant much sooner, and so they need a donor right away. So one of the things that the National Registry does is they help families like us hold donor drives. And in that donor drive, after you have educated yourself a little bit about being a donor and you decide to be a donor, then you come to the drive and all it is a mouth swab. It's like a Q-tip. You stick it in your mouth, you swab it around, and then you give that sample to the National Registry, and they take it and they put you on the National Registry. That's all that it is. Now, there are some catches in there. One is you have to be between the ages of 18 and 44 in order to be on the National Registry. A lot of people want to know, what's the reason for that? Because 44-year-olds are not that old. And that is true, but doctors have determined over years of doing bone marrow transplants that the most successful transplants come from donors between 18 and 44. So basically, they are searching for the youngest donor they can to do the transplant, and that's where you have the most success. So Be the Match is the national organization that manages the registry, and they say that they concentrate on this age range because 90% of all transplants that happen in the United States are going to come from this age range. You actually, once you're on the National Registry, you stay on the National Registry until you're 61, and then they consider you to be too old to be able to donate. So you are able to stay on the registry till then, but more than likely a doctor will not choose a donor past the age of 44 unless it was an absolute crucial situation and there were no other choice. So more than likely, if you're over 44, you would never be chosen. And that's kind of the logic behind why they want people between 18 and 44. So if you are between 18 and 44, or you have someone in your house that is, or a loved one, we would really like to encourage you to come November 15th, and I think you're going to see a flyer up on the screen. We are having a bone marrow donor drive in honor of Trevor Harris and Helen Mullins, which Paul, who is actually filming this right now, it's his wife. She has been battling leukemia for quite some time, and she also is in search of a donor at this point. She doesn't have one to hopefully undergo a bone marrow transplant. So we are holding a donor drive, which we are trying to reach everyone between those ages and ask you to please consider becoming a member of the National Registry. It is free for people between 18 and 44. If you are over the age of 44 but you still would like to help us, of course, Be the Match is a nonprofit. They're always in need of donations, so please consider donating money. What that money goes towards is to actually have people tested. It is kind of an expensive test, and it's free for people between those ages. So those who are older and want to do something can actually sponsor someone being tested. So they're always in need of donations if you're interested in doing that. I encourage you, before you decide to come to our donor drive on November 15th, to do a little bit of research and educate yourself. This is a really big decision. More than likely, you will never be chosen. The chances of you matching someone's bone marrow, they say, is about 1 in 500 that will actually be chosen off of the list. So unfortunately, more than likely, you will never be asked, but you might. And there might be somebody out there right now whose life depends on your bone marrow. So I encourage you to go to bethematch.org. That is the website for the organization that manages the registry. They have educational materials on there so that you can learn a little bit more about being a donor. And then once you decide that you do want to be a donor, we encourage you to come November 15th. It's going to be at St. Albans Episcopal Church in downtown Monroe. We are going to have plenty of volunteers there, and what we will be doing is just asking you to swab your mouth. We have flyers out, hopefully you'll see around town. We say, we don't need your blood, we just need your spit. So basically, we're just asking you to come and give us your spit on November 15th. It's going to be from 10 to 1 at St. Albans Episcopal Church. And again, that age range is between 18 and 44 that we are searching for to come and give us your spit. I also wanted to say that some of you may have seen a newspaper article about me and my family, my son, and talking about how we have a campaign called Marrow Man. We've created a comic book character that we're hoping is going to give inspiration to all kinds of blood disease patients, young and old. And Marrow Man will be at our bone marrow donor drive on November 15th. So we encourage people to just come down and get their picture with Marrow Man and Facebook it and tweet it, because we really want to send this message across everywhere, way beyond Walton County, and give people some inspiration and also an educational tool about blood diseases. So again, that's bethematch.org. Please visit it. Think about it. Consider donating your bone marrow. Consider coming to our donor drive and donating your spit. As always, if you have questions for me, want more information, please go to our website, waltonwellness.org. You can also email me at waltonwellness@gmail.com. And all of that information is there on our website for you to be able to contact us if you need it. So again, November 15th, you'll see that flyer up on the screen. And think about it, talk to your loved ones, your relatives, because what's so awesome about donating your bone marrow is this is something you can do while you're still alive. Often when you sign up to be an organ donor, you have to be dead in order to do that, or have to undergo some major surgery. With donating bone marrow, it's not major surgery, and it's something that you can save somebody's life while you're still living. So it's really an awesome thing that we can do for each other. Thank you for watching.
Hello, I'm Kenny Sargent with Keep Walton Beautiful in the Walton County Recycling Center, and wanted to thank you all for tuning in today. I had a couple of things I wanted to talk about and report here from the center. First of all, we're finishing up our Rivers Alive event. We had it last weekend. We're starting to get in all of our totals, and we're getting the reports ready to turn in. But I did want to thank all of our volunteers for coming out. We had well over 300 volunteers this year, and from the early indication is we got more trash out of our waterways and streams and nearby areas than we have, at least since I've been here the last 5 years. So we're excited about that. So I definitely wanted to thank everyone for volunteering and encourage you to tell other people in the community about our event, and we'd love to have them next year. I also wanted to thank our Keep Walton Beautiful volunteers for helping us carry out the event and for all of their help at the event. I also wanted to remind you guys of our paint collection and shoe collection event that's coming up for America Recycles Day. That will be November 15th. We're looking forward to that. The big thing is we did want to make sure you guys, and you can pass the word, we will be closing the scales that day. We won't be accepting any trash or disposable items. We're going to make America Recycles Day all about recycling, and it should be. So we're very excited about that. We've got our flyers printed. We'll be putting those out, some banners out, and you guys feel free to call us here at the center for any questions you may have. It's going to run pretty much just like last year as far as the pricing on the paint. And again, if you have any questions, just call us 770-267-1421, and we'd be happy to help you out with any of that. With fall time coming in and all of the leaves coming off the trees, I did want to remind someone before they drove all the way down here that we do not accept leaves. Every year we have people that load up their car and bring all of their leaves down here. We do not accept leaves. Those have to go to an inert landfill. We have several in our county we'd be happy to direct you to. And again, I would encourage any of you that may be watching this never come to, and seen our center to come down and let us show you what all we have to offer. There really is a lot to offer here, and you can make a difference. Again, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Hi, this is Jody Johnson. I'm here with the Recreation Report. Glad to say we've had another successful football season. It's now coming to a close. This October 18th, we'll have our Community Bowl, which brings the best youth teams in Walton County from Social Circle, Loganville, and Monroe. The top 6 teams come together for a playoff in each respective division, our 5 and 6, our 7, 8s, 9, 10s, and 11 and 12-year-old divisions. The top 6 teams come together for the county championship, and we call that the Community Bowl. This year it'll be held at Belker Park on October 18th, this Saturday, and all those teams will come in for their championship game. So good luck to all those teams. I know it's a big day for those youth football and cheerleading teams to come in and play for that county championship. And each year we have a big football replica of what the Super Bowl trophy looks like, and each department takes that trophy if their respective team wins. So it's a lot of fun, very competitive amongst our areas to see who can take that community bowl trophy back to their office. So good luck to those teams. Our basketball registration has completed. We're doing our evaluations and our drafts now, getting all the teams. Hopefully they'll all be picked evenly. So if you've missed registration, you still want to play, you can call our offices. So every once in a while we'll have someone that a player may not can fulfill its obligation and play, so they can possibly get you back into the basketball league. But that games will start mid-November and go until the end of February, and then we have our All-Star program in March. We have several projects going on here in Walton County, or we're in the beginning, the very infancy stages of these projects. One I know Chairman Little talks about a lot is the hard labor reservoir, And what does recreation have to do with the reservoir? Well, there is recreational opportunities with a body of water the size of our reservoir that's going to, it's being built now. The dam is being constructed. All the trees have been taken out, and once that fills up, people are going to want to go out there and fish, and to do that, you're going to have to be able to accommodate the public. And I've been meeting with the firms that are constructing this, and they started devising a plan for a boat ramp that will be housed near the large bridge that's already open in the Hard Labor Creek area. Just past that, towards Hard Labor Creek, the state park, on the right, there'll be a reservoir. I've got a picture that I'll show you, and it's a conceptual drawing. Nothing's written in stone, but they have started meeting, and I believe it will happen that we'll have a place to picnic, to fish off the bank. If you have an electric boat or a paddle boat that you want to take out, this would be a place that you could go park and put in out there. So there is plans being made to be able to utilize this this area for the public. Also, some of our other projects, we're talking about our Walnut Grove area and our area in between that we already own property that we need to start looking at what we will put in those facilities. I know we desperately need something in the Walnut Grove area. Our Loganville, West Walton parks are just overran with the number of participants that we get in baseball, softball, football, our basketball season. The numbers that are in the West Walton area nearly are 50 to 60% of our participation comes out of that area. So we really need to relieve some of the pressure from there and get a park built in the Walnut Grove area. So in the near future, you'll see some conceptual drawings of that. And I would say within the next 2 years, you'll see that park come into fruition. I think that it'll be active within the next 2 years. So we look forward to that. And I'll try to keep you updated if there's anything that concrete that goes on with that project. One other thing that Walton County is new at, and I'm just going to mention just a small portion of it, is HiCast Sports. It's HICAST Sports. And if you play out at Crystal Park, you've probably seen the signs. Each field has cameras put on them, and that's for the public to, and social media, really, for you to be able to watch the games and post on social media. So you won't miss any of the action any longer if you're playing baseball at Crystal Park. West Walton will have this fairly soon. It's an app that it can be bought off it's actually free off the Apple Store, and you can watch the games, and it's very unique. And I'm going to try to bring Robert Stribling in. He's the inventor of this application that we can use. And again, it's HiCast Sports. You can download it from the App Store on your Apple or iPod computer. So give it a try. If you have any questions, you can always give us a call here at the Recreation Department. We'll try to help you out and show you how to utilize that app. Their motto is, "We've got you covered." No longer need to bring your video cameras out to watch the games because they've already got them recorded for you. It's a great way. I know my daughter, and when I've missed an at bat or missed her pitching a game, she's able to show me exactly what she did, and they can zoom that up to Facebook, put it on Twitter, email it. That way you never miss another game, another pitch. It's hard to be in two places once if you have multiple kids, and sometimes you just miss the action and you want to go back and see it. So HiCast Sports is another way of we're very fortunate that they picked Walton County to be one of the first places that they installed these cameras. So again, a lot of things going on with the Recreation Department. Go to our website. It's the best source of information at waltoncountyga.gov. You can see all our programs and activities that are going on. Our community centers are full and doing great things with the seniors in our senior aerobics class. All of our exercise classes seem to be filling up. A lot of different programs and classes out there for you. Our website is the best place to get that information, or just come by our rec center. If you haven't been by the Felker Park Community Center or the Meridian Park Community Center, come by. We'd be glad to give you a tour. Again, good luck to those teams in the Community Bowl for the football championships. We hope that you do your best, and until next time, I'll try to bring you a few more updates of what's going on in Walton County with your recreation department. Thank you a lot.
Charles Sanders. Done there, but he's still. All right.
I'm just a Sherpa for all this stuff. Yeah.
And we're having a great time out here at the Monroe Fall Festival. It's a fantastic day. Wanted to bring you up to date with a few things that Fish is doing nowadays. We've just opened Fish Select, which is an antique, collectible, better items store, and it's located in Social Circle behind the beautiful Blue Willow Inn. So if you can get down there, please do. Salida is open from Thursday through Saturday from 11 to 7. Also, our thrift stores are running one half price clothing sales Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Consider volunteering with us either in our pantry, our ministry, our fish stores, Fish Select, and medical dental. Give me a call at 706-362-9008 and I'll be glad to help you. Again, that's Nancy, 706-362-9008. Thanks.
events here today at the Monroe Fall Festival. I believe the zip line behind me has had the longest line, and I've had more people, adults, children, teenagers. Everybody said, "Oh, this was the most fun." So this, I think, has been a big success here at the Fall Festival. And of course the other rides, the little train ride and all, people have enjoyed those. So there's a lot to do here at the Fall Festival, Monroe. So if you didn't make it this year, think next year about putting that on your calendar to come to the Monroe Fall Festival. This is Paul Mullins with Walton Entertainment.
Come
Saturday, October the 18th. I'm here in Loganville for their fall festival. And as you can see, there is a lot of activity here. Just about anything you want to eat, barbecue, funnel cakes, whatever, all types of vendors here. I thought the birds was a real unique vendor, talking about their birds. And next year, you might ought to put this on your calendar. You might want to come to the Fall Festival at Loganville. This is Paul Mullins with Walton Entertainment.
Good morning or good afternoon, depends on what time you're seeing this, but I'm Keith Glass, Chief of Police, City of Monroe, and I have with me Sandy Bailey with Foundation for Living. She's going to be bringing a great program to Monroe, Georgia, and together we're going to work together to get this information out. And now Miss Bailey's going to tell you something about it.
Thank you, Chief.
Right.
We're going to talk about straight talk, no chaser, sexting, teen dating, parents being a parent, not a friend. I'm bringing this information because I see there's a need. I've been to Jackson County and I've been to Barrow County, and now it's time for Monroe City. So meet me at Monroe High School, November the 6th. Doors will open up at 6 o'clock. Again, that's Monroe High School, November the 6th. Doors will open at 6 o'clock. You will be blessed and informed. Have a great day, and me and the Chief will see you soon.
We'll see you there.
Good afternoon. Thank you for watching. I'm Dina Huff, the Executive Director for the Partnership for Families, Children, and Youth. And we're kind of in a different location today because I invited Amy Honeywell, our Youth Development Coordinator, to join me today because we have a very exciting event coming up. And I'm going to let Amy take it over to tell you about the event.
Hi, I'm so glad I get to talk to you about the House of Addictions. It's sponsored by the Walton County Youth Advocacy Board, and it's right here in beautiful downtown Monroe. We're going to be here at 603 Broad Street. We're at the Old Fish Thrift Store location right across from the Walton Mill Antique Mall. We'd love to invite you to come out on October 17th, 18th, 24th, 25th, and 26th from 7 to 10 nightly, except the last Sunday will be open until 9 o'clock. This House of Addictions, sponsored by the Youth Advocacy Board, tells the very real and very scary dangers associated with drug and alcohol addiction. If you'd like to learn more about our haunted house, you can visit www.waltonyouthcan.org to find out more information. Admission is $3, and it's $3 for everyone, both parents, children, teens, anyone. We invite you to come out, bring your families, and come support the Walton County Youth and learn more about drugs and alcohol here at the House of Addiction.
And as always, if you have questions for us at the partnership, you can give us a call at 770-207-6060. And we hope to see you October 17th. Thank you.
Quiet the lies. Addiction is real.
Hey, thanks for tuning in today. We're going to show you some of the dogs and cats that are available for adoption here at Walton County Animal Control. Before we do that, just want to make a little plea. You know, we get a lot of cats in, and it's really easier to keep their cages clean with newspaper. We had some big stacks of newspapers that were donated in the past and have run out of those. So maybe you've got some newspapers and you can bring them by the shelter. We'd love to have those, use them in the cat cages. So just pull them out of your recycle bin and bring them on down to us. We'd greatly appreciate it. As usual, we still need people to come and adopt. Our adoption fee is just $40. We include the vaccines, deworming, microchip, things like that in there. So no reason not to come and adopt. You can always window shop on our website, waltonpets.net, or just come to the shelter any weekday afternoon between 2 and 4:45, and you can see what we have. And now we're going to show you some of those that are available here.
Here we have a little Chihuahua mix, female. She's about 2 or 3 years old. She's really sweet. She's scared right now. She's a really sweet dog, needs a good home.
This here is Casper. He's a 1-year-old yellow lab male, not neutered. He's a friendly guy. Definitely knows some commands, sit, and he'll make a great addition to somebody's home, and he's available for adoption.
All right, this is a black lab mix. Her name's Minnie. She's about 8 to 10 months old, looking for a good home.
Here we have a Great Dane Coonhound mix. His name's Roscoe. He's about 4 years old. He's a male, unneutered. He sees another dog, he's wanting to go play. He's a really sweet dog. He loves kids, other animals. He just needs a good home.
This is a Dachshund mix, female, very sweet, friendly, looking for a good home.
This is a female, mixed breed. Her name is Baby. She's about 9 months old. She's a little nervous. She just needs to warm up to you. She's not spayed.
This here is a female, about 2 years old, tricolored coonhound. She just recently had pups and weaned them off. She make a great hunting dog, and she's ready to be ready for adoption. Actually, she is ready for adoption.
Green, green, green. It's your home, it's your dream. Radon testing, keep it healthy and clean. Make it green, green, green.
Making it green starts from the ground up, so make sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Test your home for the presence of radon. Go to epa.gov/radon.
Make it green, green.